Filmmaking is truly more art than science. And if there was ever a movie that proved that point, it's the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. A lifeless, hollow, utterly pointless remake of a pretty fun original film. Now, to be fair, when I heard about this movie, I said, well, that's stupid. We don't need a shot-for-shot remake of the original when the original exists. And then I heard that there was 30 extra minutes on this runtime of additional footage, dialogue, characters. And I said, okay, now I'm interested. And you know what they added? Nothing. And I can hear you saying behind the screen, well, Rendan, if they added nothing, how is it 30 minutes longer? And I'm so glad you asked. This is the perfect example of the art of filmmaking rather than the science of filmmaking. Because the science of filmmaking doesn't exist. If you were to change even one frame in a moment, that moment is different. One frame, literally 1/24th of a second, can change a moment for better or for worse. That is why How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake, completely and utterly falls on its face. Because of the changes. It's 30 extra minutes, so it's more bloated than the original, just for starters. And it adds basically nothing to the movie. There's an entire character added. Two, in fact. One is the dad of one of the kids, and he is literally pointless. He has a couple jokes where he says, don't look at me or don't speak to me in public, son. And it's like, oh, they have a bad relationship. And then at the end, he puts his hand on his shoulder. And that's it. That's an added character. That's 5-6 extra minutes of runtime for basically no reason. But then there's added dialogue. And this is where the movie really trips itself. Because added characters are basically just added scenes. You have an added scene of this one pushing beads over. You have an added scene where this kid wants the love of his father. Okay, completely added scenes. But then there's dialogue that are stapled onto scenes. I mean, I'm going to keep comparing it to the original because it's impossible not to compare it to the original. But there's another moment in the original when Hiccup's dad is like, oh, we finally have something to talk about.
You're doing so well in the ring. We finally have something to talk about.
And it's a fun little cute moment, laugh out loud moment for the whole family because he's so excited and it's a little awkward. He's scooting forward, ready. In this, there's like 3 extra shots in between when he sits down. It's like cutting between weird angles, and then it cuts to this ultra wide where he sits down. And he doesn't pull his chair forward excitedly, he just sits there awkwardly. And it didn't come across as funny, it was just kind of awkward. And then they have this moment where they're both like, and it wasn't funny, because then that went on too long. Everything in this is either going on too long, or doesn't have enough time to actually be interesting. It just misses the mark entirely. And that is the art of filmmaking. The art of filmmaking is taking moments and crafting them into something. And this is almost unraveling things that already worked. Yes, it would be pointless to make this a shot-for-shot remake. I'm fine with them adding additional things, but not at the cost of things that already worked.
Call me boring?
Boring.
But I'm just excited to see some real, live dragons up close. You know, I could do without the permanent injuries and...
Oh, where's the glory in that?
Yeah, it's only fun if you get a scar out of it.
I know, right? Pain. Love it.
I hope I get some serious burns.
I'm hoping for some mauling, like on my shoulder or lower back.
Yeah, it's only fun if you get a scar out of it.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Pain. Love it.
Oh, great. Who let him in?
And if things couldn't get worse, this movie then has the audacity to be a nearly shot-for-shot remake with a couple added bits. But then it strips things out. It takes things that were not only good, in the original, but vital to the original, and removes them. One scene in particular that I was utterly shocked was gone.
Not so fireproof on the inside, are you?
But that moment's gone when he shoots the fireball into him. And yet, the climax of the film, when the big, gigantic, mountain-sized dragon is chasing Toothless and Hiccup through the sky, is the same. Oh, I'm waiting for the opportune moment to turn around and shoot that fireball into the big dragon and explode it, because remember, from before. And they still do it, but without that moment. And that is a problem. Not necessarily because we wouldn't know that you could turn around and shoot a fireball into a dragon and the insides would be squishier than the outside. Obviously. I don't need something to hold my hand and tell me that. And yet, when you don't have that moment and you keep the climax as is, you rob the audience of a reason to be invested in the movie. If you don't have a setup, but you have a payoff, all you have is a beat. And that isn't engaging. It's not engaging to watch Hiccup just turn around and shoot a dragon in the face and then it explodes on the ground. Oh, he just did a thing. But when you have a moment that sets up that is engaging for an audience, because as an audience member, you can sit and go, oh, I'm satisfied now because I remembered this moment from earlier, and now they're using that here. That is a satisfying thing to give to the audience, and a way that you can engage an audience very simply and easily. And it's gone. And I don't understand why. Yes, it's not a perfect movie. I'm not going to pretend like the original is a perfect movie. But moments in that worked, and it's beloved for a reason, because it utilizes the art of filmmaking to its benefit. And it isn't a bloated pile of shit filled with moments that go nowhere and take us nowhere. I would love to know. I'd love to have you in the comments explaining it to me now. I would love to interview you and ask why these changes were made, because they don't feel like they're being made by somebody who is making a decision intentionally. It feels like you're making these decisions accidentally. If you want to watch the film, you'll get that sense in the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of this is almost utterly the same from the original. And yet, it doesn't feel the same. It feels off. The cinematography's ugly, flat. Yes, they have cool locations. Yes, they have great sets. And yet, moments that worked in the original just fall completely dead here. The dialogue's not nearly as sharp and witty as it seemed to be in the original. The pacing and the timing is all wrong. It's all lost. And the way that dialogue is delivered now feels wrong because of the original, which is why making one of these is a pointless and terrible endeavor to undertake, because I have that in the back of my mind. I remember how all of the actors from the original delivered their lines of dialogue. And when I hear those same lines of dialogue here, it's not the same.
Pain. Love it.
Oh, great. Who let him in?
Pain. Love it.
Oh, great. Who let him in?
And it's worse now because I have that memory attached to something else. So why even make this?